Alright guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys my top 3 habits that make me feel effective, that make me feel empowered, that makes your girl feel beautiful. I mean, me and my puppy Taser can conquer the world off of these top 3 habits like Pinky and the Brain style, okay? So let's get into number 1. Running don't click off. Don't do that. Don't click off. Hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. Running every day. Now for me, I typically do every other day 3 miles, and then the in-between days I just do sprints. Now what prompted me to do this is actually I'm a military veteran. So I can firsthand tell you that nobody likes running. Like, we all dislike it. Like, just because I was in the military didn't mean I liked running. Like, we all collectively disliked it. It's not fun. But what it taught me is discipline, to do the things that you don't want to do. Because to be honest with you, a lot of these successful people, they tell you, oh, look at my glitz and glam, like look at my $1 million. But they don't tell you the difficult things that they have to do on a daily basis in order to get to that successful level, okay? They just tell you never give up on your dreams and good luck. So the few successful people that actually do disclose the details of their everyday lives, they always recommend at least having one habit that you don't like to do, but it is for the betterment of your life. Even Will Smith talks about this. Doing the things that you don't want to do, but that needs to be done for your life. And running is something that I do not like to do, but it's something that gives me that discipline. If I'm able to accomplish 3 miles, I can accomplish anything that day. Like after I've taken a shower from my ran, ate my breakfast, you know, everything, somebody asked me to do something difficult, baby, I ran 3 miles a day. If I could do that, I know you didn't do it. So if I could do it, I know I could do this little task you want me to do. It really gives you that empowerment, that sense of I'm a boss, okay? You be running like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ain't nobody out here running as long as I am. Ooh, ooh. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have my bad days where like I gotta stop and walk like a good quarter of a mile. Like we all have our bad days, but the fact that I'm getting across the finish line, if I got there and I walked there and I did it difficult, at least I was there at the finish line and not in bed. So it's something that really gives me that empowerment kind of feeling, but not only it also makes me feel beautiful, because the more that I run and the more that I keep up with that particular habit, the more my weight is in check. And my weight fluctuates a lot because I'm somebody that runs and I'm somebody that works out, but then I'm somebody who gets out of my habit. And so I gain weight. I can clearly see when I've fallen off the wagon when it comes to this habit. So it's a great beneficial habit because it keeps me thin. It keeps me vibrant. It keeps me young and youthful. Keeps my skin glistening. Like, it really is a powerhouse habit that absolutely makes me feel like a boss in every single way. So I still suggest, if you want to get into this habit, pick 3 miles. Definitely pick 3 miles because it's something that you can work towards. And then once you work towards it, you can cross it off your goal, which literally leads me into habit number 2, which is crossing off 1 goal a day. Okay? It's not necessarily the goal that is the habit. It's literally the habit of accomplishing something and crossing it off. So a lot of times I will write easy things on my goal list just so I have that feeling and that habit of crossing off 1 thing a day. Now, it's not to say that you're only going to do 1 goal a day and you're only going to do 1 easy one at that. It's to get yourself in the habit of just crossing off goals, period. So what actually made me start doing this was when I got into the habit of running, I started putting it on my list, on my goal list. So I wouldn't it wouldn't kind of fall to the wasteland that I was doing something as disciplined and as difficult as that. I wanted to have it on paper. I wanted to write it out so I could watch myself cross it off, because I did this hard thing in the morning and I want to be able to cross it off. So writing out my goal list, once I was able to cross off that run, it prompted me to want to cross off and accomplish more goals. So I wrote some easy ones just so I could really get my confidence boosted at that, really feel empowered. So I wrote like eat breakfast, I would cross that off. Then, you know, I'm feeling a little froggy, take a luxurious shower, go ahead, cross that off. So at that point, I already had like 3-4 goals crossed off. So then when it got to my harder goals, it was like, okay, I'm already on a roll here, so let me just accomplish this difficult goal. Because if I was able to run, if I was able to cross off 3 or 4 goals already, this difficult thing on my list is nothing. And getting to the point, or getting into the habit of just crossing off goals, made it where I was actually accomplishing things. I was in the habit of not only crossing off goals, but I was in the habit of accomplishing things. And that's what really made my day worth it. It made me get the most out of my day. Like, I know, just for the running thing, I start my day off running. So that's why I'm able to, you know, kind of cross off goals and really feel that high-powered, effective energy from the start of my day to the end. Because I really let my end of the day just be the end of the day. Which leads me into habit number 3. This is kind of my end of the day habit. Reading. Okay? Reading. So not only have I ran for the sake of my health and for the sake of that discipline of doing something that I don't necessarily want to be doing, but that will benefit me in the long run. Not only am I out here accomplishing goals and crossing them off my list, but now I am reading. Okay, this is a habit I feel like everybody really needs to keep up with. And the reason you see me holding a tablet is because this is what, I've always been a reader, but what really prompted me to really make this a habit was getting a Kindle, because I can read anywhere from 100 to like 1,000 pages. And a lot of times, since I'm a fiction reader, I would like opt for really big giant books like Gone with the Wind, just so I could really be immersed into the book and really into the world. But I found it was really difficult to hold like a 900-page book late at night and then put a book light on it, and it messes up the pages, and then my arms are shaking and I can't really read it for as long as I want to read it. So then it just makes me not want to read it. It was getting to be too difficult. Okay, so I opted for a Kindle, which if I want to read 900 pages, I mean, this is as thick as it's gonna get. Okay, and then I have that backlight so I don't really bother the book or mess up the pages. The books are discounted on here. It really just aids in making reading available to me. Now, some people like to read audiobooks. That's great too. I suggest that as well. Anything that deals with just being educated and receiving more information. So for those of you who are college graduates, reading can seem like a thing of the past. Like, I got my degree, I'm good, I could just go listen to TED Talks. No, okay? There's so much education online, and it's so much content online, and education and social media are intertwined together. So what happens is, you'll be seeing your friends turning up on the gram, and then literally the next video will be an educational video on, you know, how to become an entrepreneur, and then the next photo is like your friend messed up like in a ditch, like after a long night of drinking. So it's like a lot of information going in one ear and out the other. So when you actually make it a point to make it a habit to read, and you pick up a book or an audio book or an ebook reader or whatever, and you sit down and you actually intake the education, you make it a point to make this an educational period. What happens is you're a lot more able to retain that information. It's not just about looking cool or scrolling past educational stuff. It's about retaining the information and actually using it in your everyday life. So you're more able to retain information when you pick up a habit of actually sitting down and reading a book, reading a magazine, listening to an audiobook, and actually paying attention to the audiobook than just kind of scrolling through social media and it popping up whenever it feels like it. Okay? So I love to make this a habit because education is everything. If you want to be successful and you don't know how to do it, I mean, where else can you find that information? In books. And this also stems from, I have a bit of insomnia. So this is why I typically read at the end of the day with the Kindle, because when I can't get to sleep, I found I was scrolling through social media and just keeping myself awake, and there was no educational or nutritional value in just scrolling through social media if I was going to be up all night, just wasting my night away, which was going to mess up my morning. So I thought, why not make my insomnia little spurts a little bit more beneficial, I guess. Try to make something positive out of a negative situation, which is why I ended up getting this Kindle, and I ended up getting myself into different genres of books like nonfiction, self-care, and I just, even if it's 2 or 3 pages a night, or sometimes if I have insomnia really bad, it'll turn into like 3 or 4 chapters a night. Sometimes I can finish a whole book in a night, but I'm still getting that educational value Okay, so I found that I was able to be a lot more effective at work. I was able to try out different marketing strategies for YouTube just off of what I had read at night, because I ended up making this a habit. So habits turn into really good things if you let them. Okay, you can fall in and out of habits, but just always make sure that you're striving for those habits. Because like I said, I fall out of running all the time, and it really shows, because then I start to gain weight. I'm not able to cross that off my list, and when I'm not able to cross things off my list, then I'm not accomplishing. I don't have that confidence to accomplish everything on my list. It's like a whole chain reaction when you start to get out of your habits. And for those of you who have no habits whatsoever, I mean, I know you guys might be going through it or might be a little bit lost. So really start checking out people's habits. I really hope this video was able to help you or provide some kind of, like, I keep saying nutritional, but I just like the word nutritional in this type of video. I really hope you're getting some nutritional, educational value within this. So see you guys later. Peace out.